So the Potensic Atom 2 just got a whole lot better. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you why this bad boy is the latest and greatest. And here's a sneak peek as to why. What's going on, guys? This is Eddie, aka Mr. Eddie Nunez. Thank you for hitting that play button and watching yet another one of my videos. I am extremely excited today to show you the Potensic Atom 2. Now, the Atom 2 has had some phenomenal upgrades since the last video that I posted on my channel. In case you didn't watch it, go ahead and watch it right after this one. I'll link it up here and in the description. I've been reviewing Potensic now for quite a few years, from the first original Atom to the Atom 2, which again, got some incredible firmware upgrades that we're gonna talk about in this video because I have not yet highlighted that. But we also now have an actual built-in remote, a built-in screen remote that you can leverage. I think that is the missing piece to the Potensic Atom or any of the competition out there. It's just having a remote that has a screen built in, because nothing beats that ease of use versus trying to use a remote with a mobile device. Now, the original remote on the Potensic Atom was incredible on the Potensic Atom 2 in terms of the ergonomics and how it felt in the hands. So I'm not mad at that. I'm really mad at my iPhone that in cold weather days or hot days or sunny days, it just acts all funky. So what we're going to be doing today is really doing an unboxing of this Potensic Atom 2. This is going to be a complete comprehensive video. I might follow up with additional videos after, but we're going to do a complete review today, starting with a quick unboxing. Then we're going to go ahead out to the field, test it, and then I'll come back and give you my overall conclusions really on the new firmware features, plus my experience now flying with the remote. Is the remote really worth it? And I know, I have to test like the quality of the remote in terms of latency and if there's any stuttering, but I know that the answer is just going to be yes. I mean, flying with a remote is always best in class. So here we have a bag. The bag is now upgraded. You have the Potensic logo here. Reminds me of like those man purses. This actually can go on the bike rack. This can go on the bike rack really easy. You got a strap. So nice quality bag. Always love packaging. I think packaging is critical. But you have a magnetic clasp here now, which is really, really nice touch. These drone companies are becoming better and better each and every day. So let's go ahead and start unboxing everything. So for starters here, we have the mini drone. So this is going to be exactly the same as the Potensic 2 that's been out there. We have here the 3 batteries. And what I love about Potensic, which other competitors starting to do now, but Potensic did it first, is the ability to charge 3 batteries at the same time. So here we have the 3 batteries, 1, 2, 3. The third one is on the drone, but we have our 3 batteries. We have additional propellers, which I'll leave here in this packaging. We have the charger. I'll open the charger because I'll need it to charge up for the first flight. Just a standard barrel roll charger for USA, and you can change these out for different countries as well. And let's see if I'm missing anything here. That's pretty much it. And the star of the show, the remote. This is what I'm really, really excited about, is the remote. Let's go ahead and unbox this. So the remote looks absolutely incredible. So it's the same design as the original remote that came with the Potensic 2, but obviously now you just have an actual screen on there, screen display. You have your antennas that fold up. You have your sticks on the back for quick convenience and quick storage, and you just screw right on. And then let's power this bad boy right here live and see what that looks like. And you get a nice display. I have to say, really nice display. It looks like an OLED display just upon first impression here. And you're greeted with the logo, Potensic logo, and then it should boot up. And I have to tell you that it is pretty responsive. Like, this is showing me a video right now, and it is extremely responsive. The actual display, I haven't even gone out to the field yet, but the display looks absolutely fantastic. It's going through a quick tutorial. So this is actually pretty impressive. Wow. Screen looks fantastic, guys. I cannot wait to get this out into the field and use it. And that's what we're gonna do now. So the control is already all set up. It's ready to go. Go ahead and close down these antennas. Let's power it off. Slide to power off. So powering this off, slide to power off. It's from the iPhone. Look at that. So I'm loving this control. The control feels absolutely amazing. Like I shared, I can't wait to get out into the field and actually start to test this. So let me charge up these batteries. Let's go outside. Let's use this. Let's see on a sunny day how this overall combination works. And I am so eager to test out those new features and tell you all about it as well. So let's jump right into the test, the flight test.
All right, time for our first initial flight with this particular setup, because I am not new to the Potensic Atom, as I mentioned as part of my introduction video. But what I love about this drone is just how compact it is. It makes it easy for like these quick adventures. This is a type of drone that I always like to leave in my vehicle and just have a drone with you. So let's go ahead and get this drone up for its first initial maiden flight with the Potensic Atom. That's going to be sort of like the focus of this video, is the Potensic Atom 2 with the new remote. Like, how much of a difference does that make to my experience, knowing that I've been flying the Potensic Atom 2 with the standard remote. Now, again, there's nothing wrong with the standard remote. In fact, the standard remote and this remote feel exactly the same. The biggest difference is that screen. We're gonna go ahead and boot up the remote and boot up the drone, and just like that, the remote is all boot up. All right, we got to do a compass calibration here. This is something I have not done in a long time, but I could understand. I'm in a new location, brand new first maiden flight, and I have to do a firmware update, which is why it's important that you set up your drone at home so you don't have to waste time in the field to doing all of this. So I finished doing all the firmware updates here in the field. We got the drone ready for takeoff, did an IMU calibration, all of that stuff. I'm gonna take a quick look at my settings. We're gonna switch over to video mode, and we're gonna shoot at 4K 30 16:9 standard picture profile. We're gonna leave everything on full auto, and we're gonna go ahead and launch this little guy. There she goes. Nice and smooth. Let's go ahead and go out to the field here. Now, the purpose of this video, as I mentioned, is I really want to just test the new features on the Potensic, which is it now has log, what they're calling P-log mode. And also, we do have now the ability to do cinematic barrel roll. Let me move this camera a little bit closer. I'm shooting with the Insta360 here. And you're probably not going to be able to see my screen as well. You might get some glare. But that's, you know, with any screen. But the remote is super responsive. And the quality is fantastic. Everything feels just so smooth. There's no stuttering, no lag, there's no latency. I have everything that I need on the screen in terms of my telemetry data. Everything is just so good. Let me go ahead and bring this back to me, because what I do want to test is latency. I mentioned latency. There's no lag on the screen itself, but I want to know, is there any latency between the video feed and the remote? It should be exactly the same as the phone, but we just want to test that out. So I see the Potensic. So the Potensic does have forward obstacle avoidance because it's using the camera and I guess AI features. So it's warning me. Come on, little guy. He's coming. He's coming. Let's bring it on this way in the view of the camera. So what I want to do now is just wave my hand and see. Oh, wow. So there's like a 1 millisecond delay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope you can catch this on the camera on the 360. I should be shooting this with my mirrorless SLR that I have in my bag. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's like zero latency. So first raw impression, I'm really impressed with the overall quality of the remote. This is going to be a game changer, and this remote like feels fantastic. But anyway, let me go ahead and just fly these 3 batteries, then we'll sit down, we'll talk about Potensic Atom 2 overall, my experience, and I'll let you know what I felt just using this. The CineRoll, and I don't have the DJI Mavic 4, which is the premium drone, the flagship Mavic from DJI right now, but the Potensic Atom has CineRoll. Like, that is crazy. It is so easy to use as well, and it's kind of like trippy right now on my mind. I'm just thinking, like, what is it doing? Like, what is this doing actually? Because I just feel like it's like an FPV drone almost, but in slow motion. All right. So now we're gonna try a tracking mode. The first one that we're gonna do here, and actually let me start a screen record. So I'm screen recording now. All right, the first one we're gonna do here is we're just gonna do a spotlight. And that just means that the drone should be able to just keep me. Oh, it lost me. All right, so let's make sure that it can, there you go. And now let's see if it's gonna follow me. Yeah, there you go. So this is spotlight. And spotlight, the drone is gonna stay put and it's just gonna follow me regardless of where I go. and it did lose me there. So I think that's one of the opportunities is tracking, but it also could be because I'm wearing like black. Let me take off my jacket here and let's try this again. So my jacket is off. I have spotlight. Spotlight is not really tracking me per se. So let's exit out of there. Look at me, camera. Let's select me. All right, spotlight. And maybe now it would be better. I'm using all automatic settings, so I look completely blown out. All right, so I was completely blown out there because I had my EV comp at plus 2%. And that's obviously gonna let me like not get tracked as efficient because it's being blown out, so they can't really pick up on my contrasty colors here. So this is spotlight. It's working okay. Now I think that's gonna be key when you're tracking with these drones, is that you're wearing something, you're in good lighting, and you're wearing something that's vibrant, such as like this orange sweater here. Now we're gonna try follow, and let's see how that works. So I'm gonna have the drone follow me. We're gonna hit go, and it's telling me that the gimbal tilt needs to be at a certain angle. Let's try that again. Follow, go. I gotta be above 13 feet from the ground. So let's go all the way up. There you go. I'm at 14, and the drone should now follow me. Now remember, there is no obstacle avoidance on these bad boys, so that's one thing that you do have to remember. I turn my back towards it, and it still remembers, and it's gonna keep me there tracked. Today, I am super excited to be sharing with you the Potensic Atom 2, but this is not just another video of the Potensic Atom 2. This is probably the best and latest upgrades in the consumer drone market, and that is a budget-friendly drone such as the Potensic Atom 2 with all of its incredible capabilities, with a remote that's actually a smart controller that actually doesn't suck. That's right. I've been testing this, and this thing is fluid, very, very fluid. So before I get to some of the like new changes on the Potensic Atom 2 and deep dive into my experience, let's just go over some really high level specs of the Potensic Atom 2. I have reviewed this drone, as I mentioned in the past. So if you do want to take a deep dive into the Potensic Atom 2, make sure that you watch this video that I'll link right up here. But as a reminder, the Potensic Atom 2 is a portable drone that's really tailored for beginners, travel enthusiasts, and like passionate explorers, people that like to go out on adventures, people that like to kind of track themselves on an e-bike, on a hike, that want to capture their family memories, but don't want to really break the bank in terms of price point. This drone effortlessly captures breathtaking 8K photos and vibrant 4K HDR videos. It has intuitive controlling methods, AI tracking for dynamic shots, and vertical shooting for social media such as TikTok, Instagram, etc. Now, the Atom 2 is sort of a perfect drone for any adventure that you put it through, especially for those really dabbling into the drone space or the creative space and want to have aerial shots. There's nothing more important, I think, than when you're creating a video and having some drone shots incorporated as part of your storytelling, because this really changes the dynamic and the perspective of your video. So a really high level, a question you may ask yourself is, why the Potensic Atom 2, Eddie? Well, for starters, this is a lightweight and portable drone. It is only 249 grams. It is foldable, no registration required. You can travel aboard a aircraft with this on a flight without any declaration. There's no license needed for recreational use. It is truly beginner friendly. You can fly instantly with immediate takeoff and landing. It has a guided app navigation. You're also able to adjust your height, distance limits, safe takeoff landing,
smart auto return to home, low battery, all the functionality that you'll see on a premium, like triple the price drone. The Potensic Atom covers it. Now, also you have, practical functions such as no overload on the gimbal. You have multiple flight modes, cruise control, AI features, and you can even buy a protection plan if you're really worried about like, hey, would I crash? And by the way, with any drone, no matter the price point, you will crash because that's just inevitable. That's the nature of the game. That's the beast of these things. So now that I've covered sort of like specs high level, let's go into some of the new features that are on the Potensic Atom 2, what I truly like about it, and then really the meat of all this video is this remote and the ease of use that it offers. So let's dive right into what's new. So with the Potensic Atom 2 here, there was a firmware upgrade. So anyone that purchased this in the past, if you haven't upgraded your firmware, please do make sure that you upgrade it. You're not able to shoot in log, which is actually pretty unique for a drone that comes in at this price point. Usually you can't film log on these budget drones. And I kind of like, pause when I say budget drones, because although this is budget price, the capabilities is like high level, I would say. I would dare to compare this to a higher class, drone that's out in the market. Not to mention any names, but you can even buy those in the United States at this point. But you can shoot log. And in this video here, I've attempted to kind of shoot log and a comparison with standard picture profile. By the way, all the videos that you saw from this drone, I left it on complete auto for the exception of some photos that I took. But auto is the way to go because a beginner's just going to shoot in auto, and auto just makes everything easy. And there aren't anything like ND filters compatible for this just yet. Some third parties have made it, I think, but I don't have any filters to use. I'm just going to use it on all auto. So that log is going to give you more dynamic range for those that graduate, I would say, from a beginner to more of a prosumer or a professional consumer. You're able now to really grade the footage here to your liking and really capture some of that dynamic range. We're in fall foliage here, as you can see, so there's some truly vibrant colors. I'm curious to see how it's going to look standard video picture profile versus P-log or log. And I'm going to use the Potensic Atom 2 conversion LUT from their log to Rec 709, which is your standard picture profile. The next big enhancement on this, which I was completely blown away as you saw, is the ability to do the cinematic roll. Now this gimbal is not really, turning. It's not doing any sort of roll. It is just using its technology software-wise built in to do that roll. And I was blown away how smooth it did. I've only tried it twice, and I tried it here with you, and I was blown away as to how smooth this thing handled and how incredible it is. It actually almost made me a little dizzy, and I'm an FPV pilot. But that's gonna look so sick on intentional shots such as like a cliff, a bridge, a wind turbine. That is pretty incredible that Potensic included such feature without any physical hardware changes. That's going to make the price of this unit much more than what it is today. Now, let's switch over to the remote. The remote is absolutely mind-blowing. So this remote here, the quality of the screen is world class. It is able to just get your drone up in the air with such ease. The display looks almost like it's OLED. Now, I was looking at my notes here, and Potensic didn't really mention what the screen capability is on this, but it really looks like it's an OLED display. It is just that crystal clear. It is really smooth. I'm able to navigate through all the menus without any issues, no lag. I was highly impressed. This has changed the experience for me flying the Potensic, because although you can fly with an iPhone, it's just not the same. Like having a built-in screen is just game changer, and the ergonomics feel absolutely fantastic. Now with this remote, you are able to experience the same 10 kilometers transmission range. It does have 1080p real-time feed with ultra low 120 millisecond latency. I've tested the latency as you saw, and to me there was almost like no latency there, which is pretty incredible. That, you know, they're able to figure it out. A lot of these drone companies, or, you know, beginner drone companies, will attempt, others have attempted to build out a smart controller, and you almost don't want to use it because of how much it kind of sucks in terms of lag, in terms of just functionality. And this was truly like a pleasant experience. I don't want to oversell it, but I'm like really shocked as to how well they made this. So now, before I jump into my overall conclusions of the setup, let's go ahead and touch on the important part, and that's pricing, right? Pricing is going to be extremely important. So this drone is going to be officially launched on November 5th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is when you're watching this video, most likely, or way after. The package price is going to be $479 for the standard kit, which is the remote and the Potensic Atom 2 with just one battery. Now, if you do want to go ahead and get the Fly More package, which I highly suggest that you do get the Fly More package, because you're going to get the extra batteries, you're going to get this cool bag, that comes in at $599. So $599 for this entire kit. It is absolutely a steal, especially since it's including a smart controller. Now, if you are a Potensic Atom 2 user already and you want to upgrade just the remote itself, good news is that you can go ahead and buy just the remote itself. The remote is going to come in at $279. That's right, 280 bucks just for the remote. And I highly encourage you to go ahead and do that upgrade for this, because it is going to change your experience. It's going to blow you away as much as it blew me away in terms of ease of use and just how great the experience is flying this little bad boy with this remote. All right, so overall conclusions though of the Potensic Atom 2, I'm revisiting it from the previous time that I shot my, you know, first video of the original Potensic Atom 2 when it was released a few months ago. I think this drone is pretty incredible. For a beginner, honestly, to say, you don't have to use my affiliate links, you don't have to do any of that stuff to buy it, but if you're looking for a first drone to give to your kid, if it's your own first drone, or to a family member that's into hiking, travels, etc., this is like the perfect compact drone that you can take. It is almost at like that professional grade with all of its features. You can do this tracking, you can take photos, and there's really nothing bad to say. Now, are there opportunities? Yes, there's opportunities with every product, but you also have to keep in mind like the price point that these items come in at. Once we start adding things to our wish list, the price point just jumps and it goes through the roof. And, you know, now we're at a different level in terms of comparisons. But the opportunity I would say here on the Potensic Atom 2 is that it doesn't have obstacle avoidance sensors. I think that's going to be pretty critical for a beginner, especially when you're doing the tracking modes. You just got to be mindful though, however, of where you place your drone for those tracking shots. You can absolutely achieve, you know, great videos and great results without obstacle avoidance, but you just got to keep that from a safety perspective in mind. The second piece is, you know, when it comes to like photo modes, I love to shoot in RAW because you capture the most details, the most data, and then you're able to manipulate in post. When shooting in 8K, you're not able to, 8K photos, you're not able to shoot in RAW, just JPEG. But I'll show you here some examples of what, you know, the standard resolution looks like with me after I've graded it. I think, you know, I've tested this already on the first version, the second version of Potensic Atom 2, and I think it does an incredible job. So besides those two cons, there really isn't anything negative to say. There's a lot of positives. You can charge the battery simultaneously in your battery brick that's included with the Fly More package. The remote, as I shared, game-changing device. It flies really smooth. The controls are really easy. You can control all the telemetry, how high you want to fly, how far you want to fly, if you want imperial versus metrics, like your return to home, smart features, everything. It just literally has the whole kitchen sink thrown at this drone. And for the price point of $599 for this bundle, which does include the smart remote and the Fly More, it is just an incredible deal. So I will be making more of these videos. The next video I'll probably make is just me tracking myself on the bike, and really just using this control more and more I flew 3 batteries today, and as you can see, I still have quite a lot of use with this because it's only down 1 bar from a battery perspective. So this is just a no-brainer, guys. Go ahead and check the links in the description below. Please drop your questions, feedbacks in the comment section below. I will be answering all your questions. And until next time, peace.